Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Jeff from BKJMAC TV, and this is the BKJMAC podcast experience. And today we are gonna talk. We're in episode 18, season 3, and today we're gonna be talking about Africa is not a country. That's the topic. And I'm going to repeat it again. Africa is not a country. I don't know how many times do I continue to hear this. I've heard this in the media. I've heard this around people that's talked around me. And every single time they keep referencing Africa as if it's a country. Oh, I'm going to go to Africa. Oh, you're going to Africa? Oh, your friend is going to Africa. Africa. I'm going to Africa. And I'm like, every time I hear this, and I hear it in the media too, like I said, and I hear it in movies, and I'm just like, so you're planning to go to 54 countries? It's like the saying, oh, I'm going to America. You could say you're going to America because America is a country with 50 states. You could say you're going to Europe. That's a continent. But what country in Europe are you going to? There are multiple countries in Europe, and you got to pick which one you're going to. And when it comes to Africa, it's like it's extremely bad. It's extremely racist. It's extremely prejudiced. It's to the point where they try to marginalize Africa as if it's a country when really it's a continent. It is one of the biggest continents in the world. Literally one of the biggest continents in the world. And the fact they try to marginalize it as if it's a country is pretty stupid and ridiculous. There are 54 countries. 54 countries in the continent of Africa. So for these dimwits out there, for these stupid dimwits who keep referencing Africa as if it's a country and not a continent, take a geography class. Please take a geography class. People in the media, please take a geography class. Whoever's writing the teleprompters and you guys are reading, that butt clown needs to take a geography class because it's pretty ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Every single time, it's just frustrating to hear, and it's insulting, and it's condescending, and it actually hurts us as a black community. And when they keep referring to the motherland as a country as opposed to the continent. Hey, I'll tell you one country in Africa, which is Nigeria. Nigeria is a country in Africa. I'll tell you another country. It's called Sierra Leone. That's another country. I'll tell you another country in Africa. Egypt. That's another country. You see, I just named you 3 countries in Africa. And yet, I'll go better yet. I'll name another country. South Africa. That's a country. South Africa. That's a country in the continent of Africa. So, if you're going to South Africa, that's the country in Africa, in the continent of Africa. So, please, anybody, as you've listened to this episode of my podcast, please understand the significance of when you're using the motherland, because every time we use the motherland, we discredit it so many times when we keep referencing the motherland as a country. There are 54 countries. 54 countries. Tanzania, I'm just saying, another country right there. There are so many countries in Africa. I just beg, please, I beg into people who are listening, both black, brown, white, Asian, to please please, anyone in Hollywood, anyone in the media, in entertainment, teachers everywhere, please try to understand the consequences of your words when referencing Africa, because Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent. Africa is a continent with 54 countries. That means Africa has 54 United States of America in it. 54 states of America are in it. So think about it like that if you need it to help you understand better. Again, Africa is a continent, not a country. The better people understand the continent of Africa, the more ignorance, the less ignorance they'll sound when speaking and referencing the motherland. Because there's 54 countries. Again, I'm going to stress it again. There are 54 countries. Please learn the countries. Learn the countries, because when everybody learns the countries, they'll be more sophisticated when having conversations. Like, oh, I'm going to Tanzania, Africa. Oh, okay, you're going to the country of Tanzania. What capital in Tanzania? What area in Tanzania? What are the landmarks in Tanzania? Stuff like that. That's when you really break down. Because, you get a passport. You're not getting a passport to Africa. No. You're getting a passport to Tanzania, Africa. You're going into the continent, but you're going into the country of Tanzania. So please, because it's very important. It's for the culture overall. And remember, Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent. It is the motherland that represents all of our black heritages around the world. Thank you for listening to this episode of the BKJMAC TV podcast experience. Peace, love, always. One.